A busy road like this is a lifeline for people in a city. It is also potentially life-threatening. Road accidents and traffic horror stories have become part and parcel of our existence. We talk about them, we worry about them, but are we doing enough to make sure that people don't lose their lives simply by being on a road or traveling by road? Transport is important, moving about is essential, but so is safety and so is protocol. Today we examine an innovation that has the potential to bring traffic fatalities down to Shunya. More than 231,000 people are killed in road traffic accidents in India every year. 50% of accident victims are pedestrians, cyclists and motorcyclists. 95% of accident victims do not receive timely medical care in the critical moments after an injury.
If you're driving at a speed, there is always a chance of a head injury, and that is what is fatal. You need to be there within 10 to 15 minutes. If you don't, minor injuries become serious injuries become fatal injuries.
Aiming to encourage riders to wear helmets and also reduce the gap for critical care in case of an accident is this committed startup, Technoplanet, incubated at the Manav Rachna International University in Faridabad.
What made us think of it is the fact that we believe that most uncoolest things with the Tadka of technology can be converted into coolest ones. Safety and wearing helmets specifically are considered to be really uncool according to Indian mindsets. So that's the thing we are trying to change. We are trying to add a few more reasons for the riders to wear a helmet.
A rider himself, Mohit Behel, the brain behind the startup, is ironing out the chinks before this prototype hits the roads in India.
Mohit, how does the smart skull work? Walk us through each step of it.
Fine. So firstly, when the rider has to put on the helmet, firstly he has to switch on the device. Fine. So once the device is switched on, now we have the application in the phone. Fine. So you just need to connect the smart skull with that application. So when I'll press the button, so it's get connected now. Fine. So I'd also inserted 3 emergency numbers in the application, like here. Fine. And now, if I had met with an accident, fine, the helmet is going to sense all the possible scenarios in an accident. Like now it has received an alert. So now it gives a 10 seconds prompt to the user. So if no response has been received by the application, it sends the alert to those 3 emergency contact numbers plus the emergency responder.
I wanted to get a sense from you on how the smart skull decides that this is worth an alert. How does the smart skull behave almost in response to an accident-like situation?
So basically there are 2 criteria. One is the occurrence of an accident, but not an head impact. Fine. So in that case, it basically senses the orientation of the head of the rider. So if I met with an accident, basically I'll fall down. And in that case, there are certain orientations of my head, fine, like this or that. So it sends the alert in that case. Another case is that when it receives an impact, fine. So in that case also it sends the alert.
The Smart Skull application rests on the bedrock of Rescue Life, which is a complete emergency life support system on a mobile phone.
Your relative has met with an accident. Please check your inbox for details or continue with the call.
And according to the Technoplanet team, this innovation in action could mean the difference between life and death. What is the potential impact of the smart skull according to you?
See, in India, the expected time of an ambulance to reach is 10 minutes. but only 10 to 15% of those ambulances are able to reach on time. So this innovation has the power to bring that time maximum to 10 minutes. See, so we are reducing the time to convey the information. So the information of an accident is conveyed in seconds. And also, if there is an emergency responder available in 5 kilometers of the area, then he'll be able to reach the emergency location in 10 minutes.
Aiming for zero road accident fatalities, the Smart Skull could potentially be a lifesaver for many riders in India.
This is the part of Shunya quest for zero. How would you apply the concept of Shunya to the Smart Skull?
See, this innovation is done to really bring the delay in reporting an emergency to zero. And this is how we are trying to reduce the road fatalities to Shunya.
On congested roads in India, this application could indeed be a game changer.
We're back with Chetan Meni to take stock of innovations in transportation in India. What kind of specific things would you like to see happening in India? And I ask specific because there is some level of innovation underway, but where do you think specifically innovation must be accelerated? Which areas, so that we can really have a transformational effect here in India on transportation?
So I would start first with product. At product, we want more electrification, we need better batteries, we need better lightweighting, we need more energy efficient materials, which will make our transportation solutions much more efficient and zero pollution. We then need to look at solutions around city centers. How do we connect them? So multimodal transportation systems. It would be nice to have an Android for a city. Here is the open architecture of a city. I plug in my transportation, my trains, my car share, and if I want to go from point A to point B, I need to press a button and it tells me the best way to get here at this time is use a car and then use a metro and then use this and get there and walk the last 300 yards. Now that kind of integration creates a level of software on this area.
From a slightly different angle, I wanted your views on what you see as the scope for renewable energy in transportation in India.
So India produces around 31,000 megawatts of renewable energy. If you take a guess, that actually can power over 2 crore cars. That's all the cars we have in the country. So today's renewable energy could power every car in the country.
How can we realistically get onto that path of zero emissions? And I ask realistically, conceptually there's no denying it. Sounds great, should be done. How do we get to that path? It just seems like we're taking very small steps right now.
Today, if I put a 3 meter by 3 meter panel, solar panel, it's going to power your car for free energy for the next 30 years. Imagine a distributed solution around this. Forget governments doing anything. Imagine if each person did that part and he becomes energy independent and his car is zero pollution and his car doesn't require energy. So I think the solutions are here today. Are people aware that such solutions exist? No. Are people aware that what they invest can pay back in 18 months instead of 20 years? No. So with awareness, the technology changes are going to make this. So combination of what people can do and what the country can do together in policies, I think can make this reality much, much quicker.
Well, on that optimistic note, thank you very much for talking to us today, Chetan Meni. On the show today, we focused on the transport sector. Transport without proper infrastructure can paralyze the lives of millions of Indians on the move. It's a sector that needs constant innovation given the sheer number of people with transport needs in India. We need to improve existing infrastructure. We also need to feel safe and protected while we're on the move. The innovations on the show today addressed both those objectives. That's it on this edition of DuPont Presents, the part of Shunya Quest for Zero, a show that celebrates science and innovation, technologies that could secure our future, human ingenuity that could reduce our challenges to zero. Till next week then, goodbye.